What's up? I'm Austin Griffith. I'm here with the Build Guild. It's a Build Guild shill. We're shilling what we built with Scaffold-Eth for Build Guild. Today is an extra fun day because we are in the App Store with our Scaffold wallet, which is kind of just like a temporary, forkable, quick Ethereum minimalistic wallet, and it just landed in the App Store. So we're going to play around with that. But first, let's go to GA. I think GA has a Scaffold-Eth build to show off.
Yes, hello. It had been a long time since I had been here.
You were in Colombia with the folks though too, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
Yeah, it was very fun. Okay, so today I'm presenting something that I built using the Next.js branch that's somewhere. Next.js and Typescript doesn't work very well like this. I don't know why it's like the background is not displaying very properly, but it works. So in my previous life, I co-founded a company that did invoice factoring. So small businesses would issue invoices to businesses and we would buy those invoices. And it was like a marketplace where anyone could invest in those invoices. And I was thinking in the shower that we could replicate the same functionalities that we have in Chile and Mexico and Colombia and Latin America to manage the invoices. In Chile, there's a central repository of invoices that companies sign with a private key that gets sent to a centralized registry and where everyone can see and verify that the invoice was issued by the company or by the legal representative of the company. And that's easily portable to Ethereum or any blockchain. And that's what I did. So I created like a model for invoices using NFTs called Lik. I haven't been able to upload it to Vercel yet, the next app, because when I try to do it, there's some missing variables and libraries, and but I think I want to port it to the regular Scaffold-Eth repo that's only React and publish it to SH. But for now, I'm going to show you it's running on my local machine. And one of the main things with invoices is that they have to go through different stages. So you create a purchase order. This is what the state. These are the states of the different invoices you can do with the system. There's a purchase order that's issued by the buyer of the services or products. They describe something. You have to send it to an address, for example, to myself or to a BuidlGuidl.
Oh no, the padding police are going to get us.
We've
got there's an internal meme in Build Guild about padding in UIs and how we always have these minimalistic UIs, but no padding in between the inputs. And it's an ongoing meme of the padding police. But again, Scaffold-Eth builds are ugly and very useful. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna issue a purchase order to the BuidlGuidl, and the payment is gonna be in 30 days after the goods are delivered. I'm gonna pay 1 ETH. That's gonna be locked in the contract. And I don't know, build mobile wallet. And then I have to describe what constitutes like it's delivered. And I'm gonna say published on the App Store. And this mints an NFT that represents the purchase order, and anyone that has signature permissions with BuidlGuidl can go to the website or to a contract and accept the invoice. And that's it. It's gonna go, and I can send these are the invoices that I have issued. And I'm not gonna bore you with the details of going through the process of each invoice, but then eventually the small business or the BuidlGuidl in this case can accept the invoice. It gets invoiced, then the the buyer, in this case me, I can accept it or reject it. And if it gets rejected, which is the interesting point, it can be disputed by the BuidlGuidl, and that thing gets raised to a Kleros court, which is a decentralized arbitration protocol. And you can see them here if their RPC is working, but it seems like it's not working. But these are the arbitrator contracts that are deployed on Guidl, and all the disputes that I have raised from those invoices can be seen here. I don't know if you want me to show you something like the complete flow, but that's basically the build. So it's implementing NFTs with dynamic SVG rendering. The NFTs have different states, and you can interact with those NFTs, which lock away the funds. I can transfer the invoice to anyone else, like any NFT. And here's the invoice or the purchase order that I issued to the BuidlGuidl. I can cancel it, and I can withdraw my funds from there. Sorry if it was too short or if it was too
awesome.
superficial.
Yeah. Okay. So I was definitely tinkering with my phone, and I missed if I saw the SVGs. So it's an NFT that tracks an invoice. You could even send the invoice on to someone else. Like you could invoice me, and then I could hand it to someone like a developer, and then it could go to them. They could be in charge of taking care of the work and getting paid for it. The NFT represents it. The Kleros court integration to do disputes is awesome. Like that's I've never done a Kleros integration, and I think that's really cool that this is built in here. But I totally missed the SVG. Did we see the SVG somewhere? That's the part.
No, the SVG is very simple. Let me show you the code. I basically copied most of the code from the proof of stake contract that someone did with Scaffold-Eth for Vitalik's book, and the SVG is only like rendering the invoice amount, the state, who's the owner, who's the buyer of the invoice, and the state of the dispute if it's disputed. So this is what I'm using.
If it's on Guidl, could we just go look at it on OpenSea? Yeah. Like, is it rendered? I bet you could just go to OpenSea and go to your profile for Guidl, like testnets.opensea. Oh, we're doing it live. Hope this works.
It should.
It really should. Yeah, you should be able to see it in your profile over there. I feel like the pretty picture of the SVG NFT is like the thing to show off, even though it's like a complex build. So what happens with the Kleros core? Like, do you pay the arbiter? Is there like a Kleros token or something that like what is the fee system within the Kleros system?
Yes, that's a good question. I'm gonna share the link to a contract so you can see it over there on Guidl. And yeah, there they are. Those are the invoices.
They're there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe can you just like cancel it and click on one of those? Like it's trying to do a sign in. Come on, OpenSea, just show it.
Yeah, but I can show you. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, sorry, my internet is not very good.
Got it.
So there are arbiters that are deployed on different nets or blockchains, and they define the price for arbitration. And when there's a dispute, so
it's payable, and you just there you go.
You send the dispute fee, and if you want to cancel or reject the invoice as a buyer, you have to pay the fees to the arbitration fees as well. So the two parties pay the same fee, and the winning party gets the the fees
their money
reimbursed.
back or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool, awesome, neat. There they are. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Look at that.
it's just the
Easy as
amount
loot.
the buyer might minted and stuff like that. This is not
That's
updated
awesome.
though. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Good build. So are you going to use this invoice system? Like, did you build it for yourself to use?
It was just like a proof of concept, but I
Cool.
showed it at Guillermo, that community, and someone is like, okay, I'm interested in this, and they might build something to do international invoice factoring. I'm gonna be involved with that because it's something I know very well. And,
Awesome.
And there are some dumb things like if the funds are locked in the contract, like you don't need to wait for the 30 days that you usually wait to be paid by your customer. You can just withdraw the funds. So it's just a proof of concept that I have to improve upon, but it's basically functional. It could replace the whole infrastructure of electronic invoicing system in any country of Latin America using the same keys.
Heck yeah, awesome build. Yeah, before we replace the invoice system of South America, let's do a redesign with a designer. But we have those resources now, so let us know, hit us up. We can get a Figma going.
Yeah.
All right, cool. GA, great build. I think up next is Trav. What are you showing off, Trav?
I'm doing a token taxi. It's
heck yeah.
like my intro. It's gonna. It's pretty simple right now. Can you guys can hear me still, right?
Yeah, it cut out just for a second, but we got you.
Yeah, I just had to. My camera doesn't work on my computer, so I switched from my iPad to my computer. So I'll just share my screen here. So right now it's just. I'll get this out of the way. So it's just I'm able to transfer tokens right now. This is like the first thing that I've built that works with.
It's a good first build.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of go through and just show a couple of things. So I used the WAGME library in order to do all this stuff. So I connect. It shows you your the network you're on, and then I'll switch to Goerli, and you can see ENS works. And then when you put in a token with here, shows you your balance, shows you the token. I haven't figured out how to deal with some of these errors that just come up right yet. And then I can just like transfer the tokens to somebody else, which is this guy here. And then if you don't put in any address here, you can just send ETH by itself. I almost had, I thought I was going to have it so that it would show like balances, but it just didn't work out. The balances weren't coming out. I was going to use the Etherscan API. You can pull up all the ERC20 transfers that you've ever done, and I just like track the balances of it. But it there were some tokens that just weren't coming out with the correct balance. Anything that had like a tax on the token or something like that, or something where it was like automatically staking. So I've got to figure out a different way to do that. But hopefully that's what I'll be working on this next week.
Cool. Yeah, this is a good first build. It's a good like getting used to how wallets work, how providers and signers work, like all that stuff in the front end. I think one reason that we want to have a really cool token taxi app is for multi-sigs. And so you could just drop into any multi-sig and say, all of my tokens, send them on to something else. The Gnosis Safe has a similar kind of like wallet sweeper app. But yeah, a simple app like this could go a long ways for us in the multi-sig, like just because we don't have an app to send tokens around right now. And it's also a good first app. So I think that using WAGME makes it work as a Gnosis Safe app. I'm not sure if stock Scaffold-Eth has that implemented yet, but we've talked about doing that where it's a safe app that you can I don't know, wraps the provider in a specific way or something like that. Okay, awesome build. I think Alex is up next. The one feedback I would give there is, dang it, you should use Scaffold-Eth or Scaffold-Eth 2 for that. It looks like if you're using WAGMI, you should start forking Carlos's Scaffold-Eth 2. It's probably not ready yet. He'll probably say, don't do it. But but still, yeah. I'd like to see more Scaffold-Eth.
But I just start
yeah.
kind of a clean slate kind of and keep it super simple off the start, just so I could follow what everything was going on.
Scaffold-Eth is super heavy in that app JSX. We need to do a better job of just having like a cleaner version of that, so it's super easy for like total new people that like, this is my first front end. What is all this stuff going on, right? You just want to make a button and have it call a function on a smart contract. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Good build, Trav. Keep building. Keep going.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. All right. I think Alex is up next with a double, right? You're going to do a Scaffold-Eth show off, and then we're going to see a non-Scaffold-Eth show off, and then we'll play around with the mobile wallet.
Kind of Scaffold-Eth stuff, because I'm showing off the previous work for ETH rebuild now that we have like a database going, or BuidlBlocks. I don't know what we're calling it, but let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can go ahead and show what's up. All right, so this is the landing page for ETH rebuild, and I already preemptively apologized to Carlos, even though there is padding, but it's pretty ugly. And so kind of, I guess this is the continuation of the TypeScript rebuild of Eth.build. I haven't worked on it too much in the past week or so, but I haven't actually shown off my work for it in a little bit. And one of the newest things is that we successfully got the backend up and running. And so now you can share your builds, you can view them in read-only mode, and fork them and do some other cool stuff. So the landing page right here, you kind of just log in, you connect your wallet, and you actually sign a message. And right now I'm using a super janky method of just like storing the signature in your local storage. And then like when you log into the page, it checks the validity of it and derives the correct address from it to like make sure you actually own it. You can't use like a wallet spoofer or something to log into someone's account, but it allows you to save your builds so you can open stuff up. Ignore that. And so here we have, for instance, a simple build, which is just grabbing my Guillermo ETH balance from a provider that I inputted here. And another cool thing that we added is actually we like have actual block updates. So if we want to, oops, that's not, let me send one. Let's send some Guillermo ETH to my second account over here. So that way we can watch it update in real time. If it works, we'll find out. Go ahead and send like 0.01 Guillermo ETH. And we see right now my balance is 0.14 Guillermo ETH. And once that sends, we should see this update in real time. Ignore the stuff. I'm like working with some new nodes, but we can see the blocks are updating correctly and it's fetching all the data right. So let's just play the waiting game. Is it going to work? Is it going to update? If it doesn't, it's going to be pretty lame, but let's see. I don't know. Doesn't look like it's updating correct. Let's try and, oh, wait, hold on. Let's re-input this. All right, that's super lame. Just gotta trust me, it was working before. Sorry about that. So anywho, we have a database now though, and you can add things and you can save builds. So if you want to, delete that node and save it, it successfully saves it. In which case now, the next time you load up this build, it's going to be modified correctly, I guess. I don't know how many different ways I can describe saving and loading and make it sound cool, but I'm trying. And then what else? So we also have like account validation. So if we copy this same build over here and we go to a local host and we try and save it, and I'm not connected or anything, it'll say, let's see. Yeah, it won't successfully save it, and it'll save it as a new version for this new account that I'm on. So this enables us to actually fork builds, and within the metadata for each build, there's a tagged mode for like what build it's forked from if you don't own the existing build. So I think that could kind of be cool to build out like dependency trees, almost like with for builds. So you could see like historically what this build comes from. I don't know, it's almost like an evolution tree or something. But anyway, that's kind of like the main things I have to show up for ETH rebuild, stuff that we're working on for a little bit. It's been a lot of fun to work on. It's coming together, but obviously it didn't work for the live demo. But that's always
It's looking
how it goes.
nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
Is it a fork of, what are we doing with the tech tree? How is this related to the tech tree? Is it the same repo, or has it forked already, or are they still convergent and kind of working together?
They're not really on the same repo. They just use the same framework, this React Flow framework, which is super nice. And so yeah, it's kind of the only way in which they're actually related. But the one thing is actually React Flow, it's super easy to edit and update these nodes to describe new patterns of how the data should flow. And now that we have this like saving function, I can actually fork this and just copy the code from ETH rebuild over the tech tree. So that way we can add new nodes in such a way that we don't actually have to just modify the data.json, but we can update it locally by just like writing the file when we make visual changes to it. So that way we don't have to, edit a 100 line or 100 item long JSON block.
Like what database are you using?
This is just using Firebase real-time database. Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Which is nice. Because then also the real-time database, if you have it set up correctly, also enables collaborative editing on stuff. So actually you could have Figma-esque Eth.build playgrounds, which I think is kind of fun. I don't know how practical that would be or how interesting that would actually be, but I just think it's kind of a fun idea to be shaking little cursors around on screen. Yeah, so if anyone else has any questions about this or anything, feel free to ask now, or I'll move on to the next build, which is more technically interesting, I think.
The idea of having everybody together. So the original idea with Eth.build was like, this will be a good way for me to like teach the concepts of like a private key. I would be on a mentorship session and I'd be like squiggling in nifty ink or something, or worse. Like I just needed a way to show it off. And yeah, I think that like being able to save them is really good. Like yeah, there we go. That's awesome. Yeah. Doing like conversions like way to ETH, I find myself doing all the time, and having someone set up like a little control panel to be like, if it's X amount of way, we kind of have a lot of that in Scaffold-Eth now too. But yeah, the functionalities here, I really love the idea of everyone being able to play together. Like, I just think that makes the teaching session better. If you can be like, okay, you see this over here, now let's go over here. And people are kind of like following you along. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think so as well. So yeah,
I think Eth.build should also be like NFTs, like going back to like, you own the thing, and if you own the thing, like you can edit it and maybe you could follow it if you have another one. I don't know. There's something there to having, because the JSON could technically be stored on chain, and the actual like save could be loaded out of the NFT metadata. It's probably like super weird, but like just thinking that could be fun. But
no,
yeah,
totally
good
so
work.
Even something like Medium, where you have like these like, you can technically own it if you want to, like you can like mint your posts as NFTs if you feel like it. It's like a cool post or something. I think that could be definitely cool. And also, yeah, super doable, because you would just basically copy the JSON blob in. But yeah, so anyone else have any questions or comments or anything? Cool. All right, so moving on to a interesting project I've been working on for a bit and has been quite a technical challenge, has been the SubGraph Bridge. So a lot of the work that I do outside of the Build Guild is with this company called Soulbound Labs. And basically the TLDR on Soulbound Labs was we were trying to do on-chain reputation building out on-chain reputation models for DAOs. So allowing a DAO to build out a meritocracy in which people's on-chain actions get weighted for different voting things. So if you're a DeFi DAO, you should get rewarded for voting points for contributing liquidity to Uniswap and not being a bad actor and like contributing to historical shitty events that have happened, right? Like maybe if you, I don't know, use like Celsius or something, you get bad stamps on your account or some way like that. And so this is all great and dandy because subgraphs, I guess, are the tool of choice for indexing on-chain data in a decentralized and secure manner, because subgraphs have this whole crypto economic model and utilize signatures that make everything secure and verifiable. And if it's not verifiable, there's there's a cryptographic finger pointing in the direction of someone for providing bad data. But the problem is subgraphs are still technically off-chain. Even though they go through all these crypto economic securities, whatever, they're still off-chain, and we can't just like bridge on-chain data arbitrarily because that's a big no-no. And so what we did was we built a SubGraph Bridge that allows us to play into the graph's existing crypto economic system to use subgraphs as a secure data source on-chain in kind of a configurable way. And so I drew this little diagram. I didn't finish drawing it because I was actually drawing it on the call here. But this is kind of like the flow for how a subgraph works. We have indexers who are indexing blockchain data, and they're piping it through a subgraph, which is a mapping on top of an existing.
I see the GitHub. Yeah, I think I see the GitHub.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sorry.
I think maybe you're just sharing the browser. Yeah,
I am. Yeah, sorry. Let me share the entire desktop.
There we go. We can see it.
Okay, cool. So we have indexers here who are mapping over deterministic subgraph data, because subgraphs are just a mapping on top of historical blockchain data, which then get piped into a Postgres database. And so whenever you query a subgraph, you receive back two things. You receive back the JSON blob for the request that you just made, as well as an indexer signature, which is whoever was indexing your thing, they have a stake of GRT. And so whenever they submit data from a subgraph, they have to sign it, because if it's false, then they get slashed, as well as a hash of the request that you just made, as well as a hash of the response. And it's from these that we can actually utilize the graph's existing dispute manager to add a dispute config kind of to the SubGraph Bridge. So like the TLDR of like SubGraph Bridge and how it works is you use this main contract, which is the SubGraph Bridge manager. You then paste in something called the template query, which is just a subgraph query that has the block hash removed, which then we use on-chain to generate the query on-chain. The reason why we do this is because when you're submitting data from a subgraph query back on-chain, that includes the request CID, which is the hashed request. And so we generate this on-chain to prevent people from just like submitting arbitrary fake request CIDs. So we have this template query stored on-chain. We then inject the block hash into the middle of this query, so that way it gets included, and then we hash it so it all works. And then this allows us to basically effectively copy and paste these responses back on chain for use in whatever you want. So that's kind of like the high level overview, and then I can dive into the code, but I'm sure people have questions and are maybe confused over what's going on, because subgraphs are a little bit complicated. Not the best developer, or like they're not the best for, I guess, people who don't know about it. They take some time to wrap your head around. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of it as far as like the high level overview. And besides that, we can go over here and can look at the code a little bit, I suppose. So kind of this is some sample code of how this stuff is being tested, but it's not super interesting, and I'm going to be building a starter kit for it. But I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about it because I don't know, I'm just proud a little bit of the code that I wrote. So yeah, that's kind of it. Unless anyone wants to watch the test run, which we can do. It's actually rather cheap to run.
And Forge just looks cool. When Forge runs, it's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Looks like you're using Alchemy for your RPC.
Yep. This is, cool. They offer free historical nodes. Because for like testing, it's easier to just use a historical node. Because that way we don't have to like inject fake ERC20 balances into people, because we do like GRT checks whenever the code is actually running and we're like pasting over the query results. But I'm excited to see kind of what it enables, because this actually enables a new primitive for subgraphs, which weren't possible before, which is composable subgraphs, because you can actually now have a subgraph that's listening to the SubGraph Bridge contract, which then is using the events emitted from the SubGraph Bridge contract in their subgraph, but those subgraph events are getting emitted from another subgraph. And so actually you can have subgraphs that are now built on top of each other, which is a pretty cool concept, as well as it also enables the graph as an L2, which is also pretty cool, I think, because I think with substreams that could be pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's kind of my build. So I'm gonna stop rambling now.
It's better than me rambling. Usually it's me rambling here. Good build, man. Keep building on both of those things. So I'm messing around with the mobile wallet right now and it's not showing my balance. Do you guys see your balance on the mobile wallet? I feel like maybe the RPC is not working to get the balance. Are you guys, has anybody sent ETH into their mobile wallet yet and actually tried to see if there's a balance there?
I have not. No, I've just been playing with the generated ones. You crazy
You're just
person.
generating more accounts. Awesome. Let me see if I can share my wallet just to show it off. Let's see. Oh man, here we go. Yes. I've never done this before. I'm doing it live. Oh, there's my phone. All right, all right. Then let's go back over here. All right, there we go. There's the wallet. Oh, but it's also me. Okay, there we go. So here is the mobile wallet. And I've actually sent money in and it still is showing 0. And even if I hit reload here, I'm not getting a balance. So my assumption is that somehow the RPC that we used in the code is probably smashed. We'll probably need to look that up and figure that out. But while I'm doing that, I think I can show off like how we can use it for ENS. I think that was like one of the big things. So the goal was to have or Wallet Connect, not ENS, use any app. The goal was to have a nice Wallet Connect upfront mobile app in the app store that anybody could fork there. I'm showing it off kind of. So what I can do here is I can go to ENS on my desktop. And if I just go to, let's see, let me set it up. So let's see, can I share? I can't share 2 screens at once. Okay, so I'm going to the ENS app on my desktop and I see the code. And let's see, I should be able to scan it. We should actually be able to see it through the scanner. Oh, wow, it went so fast you didn't even see it, right? Did you guys, you didn't see it. Okay, but I'm logged in now, and I'm gonna share my screen back over here.
You can share both now, by the way. 2 screens at the same time. Yeah, you should be able to. Multiple participants.
What? Get ready. Let's see. It says I'm sharing. Let's see. Maybe I need to.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So I'm okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger a transaction here, though. Basically, I set up m.atg.eth is going to be my mobile wallet, my mobile Scaffold-Eth, and I've pointed it at it already with a transaction. So I have to make one final transaction to get the reverse resolver. So I'm wallet connected into this as my mobile wallet, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hit save, and hopefully, yeah, it pops us up a nice transaction. Okay, now let me quit sharing. Ooh, advanced sharing options. Let's see. Let me just stop sharing. Does it go back to the phone? Oh, look at that. It does. Okay, dope. So then I'm going to hit, oh, it's insufficient funds. Yeah, so it doesn't know that I have any money in this wallet. So it's not able to make the transaction because I think the RPC isn't working. Dang it. The demo breaks. I was hoping I could get around it by just like making the transaction happen. But since it doesn't think I have money in here, and I definitely just sent some money to this account and it shows up on Etherscan. So unless I'm on my own fork of Ethereum, I'm pretty sure the wallet
like, can you like kill the app and then open it again and maybe it will refresh or something?
Yeah. It's here.
So we're only seeing your phone, by the way. We're not actually seeing the desktop right now. Okay.
Yep. But I mean, yeah, the phone is not getting a balance, and that's what we need to see. Yeah, I've killed it a few times and tried a couple reloads and to no luck. But we have an app in the App Store, and we're close to having a Scaffold wallet that you could fork and use, but it's not quite there. Any last Scaffold-Eth builds out there? Anybody building anything interesting that they want to show off? Hit me up if you're looking for the mobile wallet and want to fork it or get more involved in that. We also have kind of a similar quest like toward Punk Wallet. Punkwallet.io is kind of a burner wallet that is Wallet Connect up front. And then we have multisig.lol, which is like a multisig. All 3 of these builds are probably going to need to know how to like show transactions and show lists of call data and things. So a lot of like underlying components for wallets probably will exist between the 3 of these and be quests that we're working on. So if you're interested in any of that, hit us up. Awesome. Okay. Happy Bowtie Friday. We did it. It's gonna be Thanksgiving next weekend, so go enjoy turkey and beer if you're an American, or I guess like Thanksgiving is totally just an American holiday, but yeah. What do you do?
Anyone can drink beer.
Yes, exactly. Yes. All right. Hearts. Happy Bowtie Friday. See you guys later. Thank you very much. See you in a couple of weeks. Go build something with Scaffold-Eth and come show it off. All right. See you.